And now, Freelance Heroism presents Return to Ravenloft.
Hey everybody, welcome to Freelance Heroism. My name is Dees.
And I'm Rachel.
And before we even get started, we just want to say thank you to everyone out there who donates at the Patreon, in particular those who donate at the producer tier.
Mhm.
Rachel, would you like to let us know who they are?
I would love to. We want to say thank you to Duncan, Crispy, Nate, Breakmeister, and Rebecca. Thank you so much, everyone.
Crispy! Sorry. Every time I hear it, I think bacon.
Uh-huh.
You make me think bacon. And that's a gift that keeps... He's donating twice.
Right.
All right.
Mhm.
Thank you guys. We really do appreciate it. You help us make a better show for everyone, and we can do it that way.
Thank you.
Rachel,
Thanks.
let's talk nerdy book shit. Because Rachel's a nerdy book lady.
That's not true.
Right. We're all buying it. We're all buying your denial. Like a guy coming out of a bank with a bag full of money. I didn't do it. I'm like, sure, Tony, we believe you. Your rap sheet leads me to believe you. The idea for this intro is to talk about the difference between your reading habits and mine.
Yes.
I will admit that I don't read as much as I used to.
Mm-hmm.
Partially because, I don't want to. But also, I think it's important to read from time to time, just not this time and not now. But you read like 3 books a fucking day, it seems like.
No. I do read a lot. I have been trying for the last few years to read 100 books in the whole year. I have not gotten that goal yet, but last year I did read 99 books. So
wow, you couldn't get that last one in?
No.
Towards the end of the day, were you just like, oh my god, trying to get it done? Were you trying to look for books that were short just to pad your numbers out?
Well, I had like 6 of the books I read were basically like short stories that were sold individually. However, a few of the books I read last year were like 700 plus pages, so I think they kind of even out.
Yeah, that's a nice justification to make. There you go.
But yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say the reason I thought about talking about this was because yesterday I had asked you for a book recommendation. Because you have a different reading taste than I do. So
right. You read a lot of stuff that I've never heard of. And so I wanted to clarify, I don't keep up with what new books that are good are. Right? I generally allow society to sort of have an opinion on books for about 30 years before I attempt to tell myself I need to read that, right?
Oh, okay.
And also because there's so much bullshit. I don't want, like, you read books sometimes you're like, this is bad.
Yeah.
That's a game killer for me. There's no fucking way. I told a story the other day. I was in college and our professor, there was only like 10 people in the class, and he chose a book individually for everyone. So everyone got their own book that he thought they would like. And in a sign of just blistering disrespect, he handed me Dan Brown's Angels and Demons.
Oof.
Right?
Oof.
And so I've never heard of Dan Brown. I never heard of Angels and Demons before the fucking movie was made or whatever. Or at least before I had seen part of it. See how I said that? Seen part of it. And so I take it home and I start reading it. And I get maybe... the chapters are just fucking short.
Yeah.
Like, bits of... It's like... It's just... It was so bad so quick.
Reliving it already.
It was so bad so quick that I was just like, what does this guy... Is he calling me an asshole? Like, I literally thought, like, is he calling me a stupid asshole? So I took it back to him and I was like, nope, give me something else. And he was like, I'm gonna need like a day. And I'm like, that's fine, but you can take this with you, right? And so he comes back the next day with Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man by James Joyce. And I was like, I recognize the name.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Right.
So I go back and I read that, and maybe read it in like, I don't know, 4 days, which is pretty fast for me. It was fantastic. It was there's parts of it that are kind of like, you're like, this is a little creepy, but like it feels, I'm thinking one particular bit that's pretty creepy.
Okay.
But it's the cool thing, it's like a narrative about like a start to finish of a person's life, right? And the main character, Stephen, is a like analog of the writer James Joyce, right?
Right.
And it's sort of like James Joyce is sort of famous for Dubliners and a few other kind of, I think Finnegan's Wake, I think, is him. I'm not certain. But like these other pieces of work are much more, I guess, refined. But I think that there's heart in this one, like spirit in this one, a unique way of telling a story, especially at the very beginning. That is, I think about this book all the time. And when you asked me the other day, I was like, I just need, because you kind of put me on the spot. I was like, give me a little bit to find a cool book to recommend.
Yeah.
And then I sat down and I was like halfway through eating a salad, and I was like, oh, James Joyce. So there you go.
Yeah.
What was the last one? The last one I recommended was The Idiot, right?
Yes, I read that last
Dostoevsky?
year. Yeah.
How was it?
I thought it was very good.
Yeah.
I don't really read like Russian literature, and I don't read a lot of classics really. So it was. I did go through it pretty slowly for how fast I normally read stuff.
Yeah.
Because it felt very layered, and it was sort of talking about like a society in a time period that I don't have a lot of knowledge of personally.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really interesting, and I remember reading it and sort of mentally comparing it to Candide, which was another book you recommended that I had read a few years before.
Voltaire is awesome. I also think that those two in particular are very interesting together. If there's two recommendations, both of them are about sort of an idiot for different reasons, like a naivete of the character. I think so. I think maybe they're, though you had made mention of Candide's sort of a dick a little bit, and yeah, he is kind of.
Yes.
But I mean, you can't think of a funnier story about a guy. It's like that classic trope of like, this guy is confident that he's gonna go out and take the world by storm, and it's just fucking failure after failure. Just even things that aren't his fault, just bad luck. Just finds the fucking gold city of El Dorado and the ship sink. I don't know, fantastic. I'm glad that you're reading them. I was hesitant to recommend too many books to you because I feel like at some point you're going to recommend a book to me, and then I'm going to have to read it. And that will forego my 30-year society rules. I let everyone else, like, imagine you had to storm a room and there's like a bunch of machine guns on the other side of the door. I'm going to let a bunch of people go in first. Let them waste some ammo. Right? Why am I running in first? Fuck that. I'll come in through the window.
Well, I read a lot of genre fiction. I would say that's the majority of my reading list. I especially like horror, and I've started getting more into fantasy lately.
If I had to read a horror novel, I would not ever finish it. I would just be like, you know what I mean? My instinct is to not get killed by this thing. So why would I continue reading? I'm God in this instance, right? I could just stop reading and time freezes.
Right.
I save everyone.
I would say maybe like a third of what I read is nonfiction. I usually focus on like science or natural history, or books about like this
Ship
is
crashes.
this is a book just about coyotes, or like this is a book just about vultures or something. Like I like books that are just about one particular type of animal, and you just look really closely at that. my last nonfiction book was Cultish, which was about
Timely.
the language of cults and fanaticism, which was really good.
It's a timely read.
Yes, it is a
Yeah.
timely read.
It's a timely read right before the scripted Super Bowl later today. Oh my God, these people are dweebs. All right. So I mean, do you think
Mhm.
that our reading styles are different?
Yeah.
Can you explain why you think that?
Um,
Because you think you're an elitist and you're better than me?
No, actually, I think you, based off things that you've suggested to me, I think that your reading taste tends to skew more
You
like
think I'm elitist?
deep, yeah, like very sort of deep thought. Just, I mean, like the last fiction book that I read was about vampires, you know,
Yeah, I
and
haven't
then
read
like
any vampire books lately.
you're over here recommending like Russian literature and philosophy and stuff like that. So
Well, I apologize. I'll try to recommend some Goosebumps for you.
I loved Goosebumps when I was a kid. I read them all the time. These boys in my class they formed like a Goosebumps club.
Guys, just before she
And
finishes, I've heard this story already. This is like a real deep thing. She
I
feels
wanted
this
to
today.
I wanted to be in the Goosebumps club because I loved Goosebumps. And so I talked to them and they were like, well, we have to give you a quiz about Goosebumps to make sure that you're good enough. And I was like, all right, hit me with these Goosebump questions. I got all of them right. In fact, I corrected them on some of their questions
Yeah, I can't imagine why they wouldn't want to hang out with
because
you.
they didn't specify like which book. And then
Yeah.
they didn't let me in the club.
I can't imagine why they wouldn't let you in after you correcting them on something they care about.
I'm just saying,
Man, who could
I'm
have
just
possibly
saying,
imagined that outcome?
Josh and Derek, you guys suck for not letting me join the
Yeah, you hear
Goosebumps
that,
club.
Josh and Derek?
I knew more about Goosebumps than any of you.
Yeah, you punks. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And that you weren't allowed into the GB gang.
Mm-hmm.
The GBG. What was your gang colors? Like a neon green bandana? That was like
Yeah.
you have to stomp each other out before you're allowed out of the GBG. Can you imagine Rachel as part of like some book-based gang? Some gang of librarians?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. After they beat the shit out of you, they stamp your head with a return date. They call it book plating. Get out of there. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I don't mean to sound elitist if I recommend books. I just don't want to waste my time reading something like I don't know, vampire romance novels.
I don't read romance novels.
I'm just you never know what you're gonna read.
It was a fantasy novel about vampires, okay?
Look, I never know what I'm about to read, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I would like is for a bunch of people before me to have read it and then start talking about it. Doesn't mean I have to agree with everything they think in it.
Right.
But I just want them, if I start hearing shit about like, I don't know, vampire romance or something like that, I'm just going to disregard it. It's no longer for me. Right.
Right.
If I'm going to read something, I want when I'm done reading it to sit it down and then it kind of sticks with me for a little while I'm leaving and walking around.
Does that mean that you would never read Dracula? Because it is.
No, I think Dracula has significance. And I think also once it's been around for a long time and it's culturally relevant. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I have I have brain power that I have to allocate to things, right?
Right.
If it's something that maybe like vampires I'm not particularly interested in, if I'm going to fill my brain space up with vampire shit, it better be something that I can use in dialogue with people or to reference something. So like, I'm not going to read fucking True Blood or some shit like that. Or is that a book? I don't even know. Fucking
yeah. I tried to read the first book in the True Blood series, and I did not enjoy it.
Tell me, sucker, where are you from? Like, fuck off, man. I just like those types of things. I'm not even gonna put in my brain.
Yeah.
I don't want to. It's not sterile in there, but I just don't want that shit touching my other shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, if there's like a sieve, right? I'm gonna catch the big chunks, and the thin, loose garbage can just pass right through. Just leave me the big chunks. I'll use those. So that way I have a varied kind of understanding about a bunch of different stuff. I know that what I'm putting in my brain, other people will hold on to, so that way I can use it in conversations and as basis for argument and things like that.
Right.
But I don't want to read something that even if I have, I mean, maybe sometimes I bet there are things that I would like, but I'll be honest with you, my filtration system just lets it slide right through. Fantasy novels, like I read a lot of the Dragonlance when I was younger, but I'm going to be honest with you, they didn't stick super well. I mean, some of them did, some things did, bits of it, but I don't think it was impactful. Right?
Yeah.
But then other things are very impactful to me. I thought Lord of the Rings was one of the best things I had ever read at that point, and it will stick with me forever as this thing. And then when they made the movies about it, I was like, even better, right?
Right.
Because now it's culturally relevant, people know about it, so now I can use it in conversation, where before I would call someone Mithrandir in like a funny voice, and they'd be like, what? And I'd be like, never mind. Actually, you know what? I think that one probably still goes over people's head. Mithrandir is fucking the name of Gandalf in Elvish.
Oh, okay.
Never mind.
Okay.
My point is that this is how my thinking goes. So.
Okay. Well, you
Bombadil should have been in the movie.
Your highbrow hoity-toity.
Hoity-toity. Oh, you're not gonna allow me in the GBG?
You definitely could not be in the GBG. Nope.
Well, me and Dylan Thomas and James Joyce and Kurt Vonnegut are gonna go fuck off with our shit. You can't join our group.
All right. Well,
we'll call us the Sun Also Risesers. Oh wait, that story is about a guy who loses his dick. Never mind. We'll pick another name. I'll get back to you.
Well, why don't we go ahead and go to this week's episode?
Sure. What's it called?
Okay. So this is Return to Ravenloft, Season 2, Episode 22, Beeswax.
Excellent.
Yep.
That was a great title. Because I know exactly what it means.
Yeah?
No. I'm sure it's good.
Sure.
Because it's concise. That means it's good.
Right.
All right.
All right.
But now I'm better than Rachel at everything.
That's not true.
Yeah, well, we could take a vote.
What are things that Deese might be better at Rachel at?
Art.
D-Walk. What do you think?
Dealing with Rachel.
Identifying rhino asses.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, that's yes. He's a much better expert at. I'm going
colonology.
Thatco.
Colonotherapy. Actually. Jesus Christ! Don't take too long. It's not that hard to think of something I'd be better at.
What could it be?
We can circle back to this, guys.
Okay,
we can come back to this later.
Deese is
you all.
Deese
you
is better.
Started this.
Deese is better than Rachel at talking about their own wang.
True. That's true. I'm very good at that. I'm talented.
He's a great judge of wang.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yep. I'm the Wang Newton of Wangs. What's something that Rachel is better at than me then? Go ahead. We'll do it the other way. Name one.
I'm more well read than you.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Yeah, not, I
Doesn't
wouldn't say
destroy a
well
toilet
read.
like you.
Some of the books that you read. How many books have you read about
Wait. I've got
a
one.
kidnapped victim?
Well, I've got
A woman who's gone missing, and the husband did it. Probably.
It's probably the husband.
Probably the husband,
It's usually the male significant other. You can't trust them.
or the hot guy who works on site.
Deese is better at not cooking pasta with egg in it.
It's true. So I think we've kind of zoned in on one, cooking. And I say zoned in as in like 100% of this. Rachel made an egg one time, and it was so crispy it looked like a Dorito on the outside. It was orange and flaky. It looked like a skin graft.
Okay, that's because I can't get the
Right,
hang of the
cook.
heat on this new oven.
That's cooking.
And also, no, the heat is different on this new oven than my old one. And
Right.
also, that when I made that egg, my spatula broke. As I was
Jesus.
flipping it.
How's it feeling over there, guys? You ready to take some more votes about how this is doing? She went to cook an egg. It came out orange and somehow broke her spatula.
It was an old spatula.
Did the spatula
frying
break, or
an
did
egg.
it just give up out of desperation?
It was like, if I break myself now, she can't put this egg into the pasta.
The spatula surrendered.
How about reaching things off the top shelf
I can do that.
with the aid of a
Without-
crane? Bitch need a Class C license to get to the top of her fridge.
Fitting into hoodies that you don't have to specially order because you're freakishly tall.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
I got these long arms, man. What do you want? That's why I roll the sleeves up so you can't tell. They're too short for my fucking Slender Man arms. You should see me play a piano. I could do two on either side of the room. In order to jerk off, I have to reach around behind myself and under my...
Hey, at least we full circle back around to talking about your own wings. So.
I got
Right.
6 elbows. People don't know that. People don't know that.
Hey, the ones on your legs are called kneecaps.
No, 6 elbows on each arm. Yeah, it's like one of those kung fu poles.
Oh, is it?
Are you guys all right?
Yeah.
That's cool. All right, cool. Trying to get that energy up. Rachel's just mad. She's just mad because she's not as good at me at things
What?
like damage or
Oh my god.
Mm.
dungeons,
Uh-huh.
PvP,
Mm-hmm.
sexual combat.
Combat.
Yeah.
Dare I ask?
No, you don't.
No.
Okay.
No, you don't.
I think that's called wrestling, but I could be wrong.
I don't know. I stopped watching wrestling when I was 12. Okay. Where do we leave off?
The Mears affected everybody, rippled across.
That's right. We saw these different visions of different versions of us.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was bitching at all of them.
we left off with you guys, or one of you, I think, is still bleeding on the floor. The other two, I think, are still standing. And you guys were going to try to
not me.
explore the first floor. No, you weren't the one bleeding on the floor. One was puking on the floor too.
I think 2 of us threw up.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I think it was me and Ray threw up.
Yeah, you guys were the ones with the
Oh, sorry.
low con checks.
That's
Yes.
right.
The 3 and the 6.
There was some sort of cornucopia of bodily fluids expelled at the end of whatever the fuck happened.
Yeah.
If you throw up
So-
and fart at the same time, do you do a flip? Maybe do it hard. I bet you
No,
could zero gravity.
maybe.
That
get
would
like
be
a-
something to write into Jackass.
I think if you sneeze while pissing, you blow your asshole out. But
What?
I don't think that's true.
you don't think that's true?
I think you just have to go get some paper towels.
You're gonna more than
Well,
that.
Clean off the wall.
It kind of turns into that
Whoosh.
turns into one of those sprinkler games that kids buy.
Gross.
You know what I'm talking about? Like the
Little-
elephant.
Well, yeah, the little octopus thing with the little rubber hoses on it. Anyway,
All right.
Good times.
so yes, we have we have expelled bodily fluids all over the place after having a harrowing mental break from reality.
And it seemed like everybody felt that, right? Like everybody, not just
Yeah, and-
us three.
In the world, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the fighting has gone kind of quiet for the moment. So
Good. Time to start taking them out one at a time.
Quick, while they're all surprised.
I wonder what effect this has on the world to see alternates of themselves.
Hmm.
Do you think the Dark Lord saw alternates? Ooh.
Mm. Well, we
That
know
might be
they.
weird.
Well, Kess doesn't know, but Adri would know that we have seen an alternate version of Strahd, so Dark Lords do exist.
Dark Lord sounds like something you find on Reddit.
Alt Dark Lord sounds like a new political party.
Oh no.
okay.
That's a really weird old mailing list. Dark Lords, yeah.
Oh man, it's like the Babylon 5 fan group. You got a little. Never mind.
Okay.
Babylon 5 sucks. DS9, please. Okay. No one take up that fight. Also, Rachel, edit that out. I don't want to defend this over email for the next.
Okay.
All right.
So Kevin and I are puking. How is Rayne doing?
Rayne's oddly standing still more. Like it ricked at him, but he was able to control himself a little more. It could be the can't throw blood, or it could be the fact he hasn't traveled through the mirrors as much.
I'm a
Or at
seaworthy
all.
kind of guy. I probably am just more or less prone to seasickness and such things. So I have a strong constitution. You would too if you ate what the cook on board offered us.
You ever seen a dude clean a porta potty with his thumbnails? Get back to me with con checks.
Oh, Brendan.
He's out there scraping fucking jailhouse poems on the wall.
So
All right. So do we want to continue while everything's kind of still? Do we want to try to I don't know, go-
do we get a sense as to whether or not this was disruptive enough to everyone that the fighting is going to cease, or is this just a temporary lapse in the ability to think, and then everyone's going to kind of come to and start beating the crap out of each other again? I mean, do we get the
we
sense
could
that it
leverage
rattled?
it.
I was just thinking, did we get a sense enough people were rattled to the point where they're like, I'm just going to sit down here for a while and we're just going to chill.
We could leverage it. We could
Yeah.
use what happened as a pretense to let us through. Do you know what I mean? Like we were here to stop the world fracture, and we are in the center of it. And if you do not let us through where we can take care of this, then you're all going to be ripped into pieces.
So you want to go full on prosperity gospel evangelical preacher here. Look what
Yeah, I'll just walk. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not the first time I've just.
I was going to say. It certainly sounds like this is something that's more up your alley than
I
than mine,
I
for sure.
can do a quick change, and I'll have Father Galen out here walking up and down, talking to people. The confessional.
Oh no.
I think if you think you can leverage it, if anybody can, it's probably you.
How many people are in this room? Or in the next room?
You guys are still actually in the like the foyer of the first floor.
Right.
You got the Hall of Abyss behind you guys. You have the Hall of Death on the other side. That leads to both leads to classrooms. The library's up north of you guys behind the books. The kitchen's off to the side with the Hall of Death.
In the direction that we were heading. If let's say we were just going to plot a course directly to where we were headed, right?
Down to the basement.
So
there's no one in front of you guys to get to the basement stairs, or
There's
that head
no one?
down. Well, it's not called the basement. What I called it, the dungeon technically, but there's no one in front of the stairs at the moment that leads down.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna head down that way then. Just walk like with purpose until I have a reason to do otherwise.
Okay. All right. So you guys are gonna, with your health at the current level, you guys are gonna head down.
I mean, we don't really have a whole lot of time to rest, so
Yeah, I don't think an hour is something
right.
we've got to spend.
I would prefer someone heal me, but she did what she could. You know, she's not great at it.
All right.
She's trying her best.
All right.
How hurt does Kevin look?
About halfway hurt.
Halfway hurt.
Halfway, all the way hurt. Pretty fucking hurt.
All right, then I'm gonna give him a 3rd level cure wounds.
Pigs are flying.
29.
Oh my god. Excellent.
And then that should also heal me a little bit. Let me double check.
No worries.
I was like, okay, how hurt are you? Okay, imagine you fell all the way to your death. Now halfway. Now you only fell halfway that far.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I look.
Okay. I heal a little bit. How does Rayne look?
I'm a little bit better than feeling half a man, but not
It
that
gets
much
more
more
complicated with fractions because he's like a shark too. Well, my shark bar is at thirds.
Yeah. The human side of me feels great. The shark side of me is upset.
All right, then you get a 1st level.
All right.
15.
15. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then I heal a little bit from that.
Oh man.
All right.
Anyway.
So we are heading downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
We've had some light healing done.
Yeah.
Before you guys make it to the stairs, you catch a whistle.
There's a gym coach
sorry.
here.
You hear a whistle.
Okay.
Sorry. You hear a whistle.
We all made a visual joke in an audio
Yes.
podcast. We're professionals.
Even though it's not on camera.
Yeah.
Look around for where it came from.
Down the Hall of Death, you see a man kind of sticking his head out of the kitchen, signaling, and he thieves can't. The word professionals.
Okay. Excuse me. Time to get a snack. I'll head over to the kitchen.
I guess we're going to the kitchen.
All right, as you get in, he looks you up and down. You're him, right?
Depends who you're talking about.
He said you'd come. He said you would be wearing that. And when you did, he said to give you this. And he hands you a box.
Okay. Can you describe the box?
It's a long box, 3.5, 4 feet long, wood. It's sealed. You see, there's a symbol on the front. It has a 2 kind of carved into it.
Excuse me. I'm gonna reach over and grab one of the knives from the kitchen.
He pats you on the back and he shoots out of the kitchen and down the hall.
You not want to be here while you open that?
We're gonna do some tests, no worries. And I like take the knife and I like kind of wedge it in between the box.
Kess is gonna stand near like the entrance to the kitchen, to kind of like try to A, intercept anyone who comes into the kitchen, and B, make a quick escape if need be.
It's more B than A. I will also more B than A.
What? My brain is making so many jokes right now.
I know.
You can't just give me the start of the letter. Okay.
Yeah, I will step away from this because most of my thievery instincts tells me that jamming a knife in a big wooden box that was just given to you by a stranger is maybe not the way I personally would do it, but then I'm not a professional, so
I'm just wedging the knife in. I'm not actually prying open the box. I'm just sliding it in between the opening.
Okay.
Once the knife is kind of wedged in there, I can lean down and kind of sniff to see if there's anything inside that would smell like sulfur or any type of explosive compound.
All right, give me
You want
an investigation check.
Okay. Do I have to roll it? I will. I'm gonna take a 10, so that'll be a 25.
As you inspect it, you check it, you take the whiff. You're not picking up anything sulfuric. You're not picking up anything smell-wise from it.
Okay. Then I'm going to take the box and I'm going to tilt it on its side so that the knife is up.
Okay.
When it does that, I'm going to listen. Seems like it's packaged well.
Yeah, it's packaged well. It's you don't hear anything rattle around inside.
All right, I'm going to lay it back flat on its side. I'm going to put my hand on the knife. I'm going to look at the nails that close the box. It's a wooden crate, right? Kind of box.
More like a case.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then I'm going to take the knife and kind of push it further, turn it sideways, and then try to disengage the holding mechanism. But I'm going to put my hand on top to keep the box closed.
All right, give me a dex check.
You want just a flat dex check?
Yes, please.
Nat 20.
With ease, as you go for it.
You guys got the fucking D&D Beyond up, right? Okay. I just wanted some evidence.
Yes,
whenever I roll a D20 without someone looking, it makes me feel weird.
I can confirm that
don't feel bad. I trust you. If I didn't trust you, we wouldn't be playing, brother.
No, I know that, but I just okay. Anyway, nat 20.
All right. Yeah, the box or the case, the lock you hear just completely like pops easily and opens up nicely for you. You see a bow inside.
Hey.
Hey. You notice 2 black pearls are in the limbs, in the arc of the limbs. Mm-hmm. It has a kind of a dark wood finish across the entire bow. and the string is magical, as you can almost see it glimmer.
This is a design that I had sketched in a sketchbook years ago, 200-300 years ago. But it's been modified. It's beautiful craftsmanship. I'm gonna kind of hold it up.
And it just magically shows up in a kitchen of an academy by random happenstance.
Inside the case, you see Victor's family's crest on a card.
My reasoning here is that the kid probably had it put together. He had to come find some well-versed in crafting items of this quality, and the academy seemed like the perfect place.
Huh.
I think he would have said something. Also,
Yeah.
I'm not 100% pleased with his taking my designs or my notebooks, but I suppose it all worked out in the end. I'm like completely tuning out the world right now, just looking at this thing.
You're just slowly trailing off talking to us.
I'm contemplating whether or not Kaeviir is upset because Victor took his plans and did all that kind of stuff, or if the modifications that Victor made to it are actually better than the original design, and he's just not willing to admit that.
Well, outside of game,
Uh-huh.
this allows me to fire arrows that are essentially the shadow blade.
Oh.
So like the shadow sword, and I can throw it and then have it returned back to me. But it says you can shape it to any size blade or whatever that you use. So I'm just going to shape it into a sharp shard and fire it out of the bow.
Okay.
That is very cool.
It is
That
very
is what
cool. And then
the,
have it returned to me because I can do that.
Ooh,
That is what the black pearls in the bow do.
nice.
There's another feature of the bow too. You start realizing that your son's sword was infused into the bow.
Fantastic. Look at this handle work. Look familiar? Oh, not to you because you don't remember anything. How about, oh, wait, you weren't there. Let me just clarify. This is very impressive. It is an old weapon that I used to have.
It's an old
and
new weapon.
An old friend of mine who was a sword and then became a dead guy or something. It's hard to follow. He was like a brother of a vampire. He was a good guy. Sergey.
Never heard of him.
It's not ringing any bells, but then again, church is closed in your instance. Okay, so here. I'm gonna like hold it up and I'm like, excuse me, Rayne, hands, please.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna lay the bow across both his outstretched hands, and I'm gonna be like, this part here, and I'm gonna kind of gesture. I'm like, this used to be the Sun Sword. Do you remember the Sun Sword? Ever heard of it?
No.
Famous vampire slaying blade used to kill Lord Strahd by yours truly.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
yeah. And now it's part of a bow.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna lift it up. And I'm gonna like, let me see if I can. I haven't really had much practice with it. I'm just kind of like shoving my hand out while holding it, trying to get it to light up. Is it maybe like a command word or something?
Technically, you have to attune to it.
No, I know that's probably what it's not.
Okay.
I imagine whenever someone attunes to a weapon, I assume what it is trying to figure out how to activate it. So like there's people always act like you just hold it in your arms and meditate, but I think really what's more likely is that you're trying like different command words and seeing how inaccurate you can say something while it still works. It's like getting a new phone and trying to load all your apps on it.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So like in the heat of battle, you might say something a little off, you know, especially if it's like a magic command word you don't use all the time. It's new. How many syllables can I skip before it stops activating? You know? This elven command word works if you say bologna sandwiches. It's crazy.
Klaatu Barada Nickel.
Yeah. Well, I'll give it some practice.
Well, it looks like a good weapon.
It does, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Oh, let's see if I can do it. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna put my sleeve up. I'm gonna try to slide the entire bow up my sleeve. And I'm gonna hold my hand out and be like, ha ha.
That's gonna start getting really uncomfortable after a while, doesn't it?
Nope.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna reach in and go pull out a full-size bow. Ha ha.
All right. Well, I'm glad you have yourself a shiny new toy. Maybe it will come in handy here when we go downstairs because I'm fairly certain what's left of my uncle's crew is ransacking this vault.
Well, ransacking is, and I'm gonna be like stringing the bow and kind of. People aren't used to seeing themselves, you know? They're not used to seeing alternate versions of themselves. I imagine it'd be very complicated for the average. Shit, this is not how it's supposed to be rigged. It would be complicated for them to negotiate the difficulties of mirror. This is not right. This is this is how it's. Come here, hold this part down.
Wait,
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm still smaller than I should be.
Also, I just like to point out that the two of you vomited after whatever the hell just happened to us, and I didn't. So,
Yeah,
just
you're cool.
saying.
Do you want
That's
points
not-
for that?
That's not the first time I've puked during a fight. Probably not going to be the last.
It's not
Yeah.
the first time I've heard him brag about not puking during a fight. People fight all the time and don't puke. You're not the outlier here.
Okay.
God. Just hold this. What I'm
Fine.
saying is that we don't know what type of emotional toll or mental toll it could have on these people downstairs. Might get down there and they're crying in the fetal position. Who knows?
My uncle does have a pretty big ego. Depending on what his alternate versions look like, he could be upset or he might be emboldened.
Well,
Quick clarification question. If we go downstairs, they are crying in the fetal position. We're all cool with just stabbing them in the necks while they're vulnerable like that?
well, redemption's always better than murder. I find it less permanent. But we'll feel it out as we get down there.
Okay. All right.
Just
Kestrel's nodding, but she's like internally, she's like, I'm gonna stab all of them in the throat if they're just like on the ground in the fetal position.
we should have cutaways like they do in the office for like inner monologues.
Yeah.
It's just like, I thought that maybe it was a little aggressive to try to attack people who are clearly having a mental breakdown. And it cuts away to Rachel's character. She's just like murder, 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 murder.
Cass is like, this is the dagger that I specifically commissioned to stab people in the neck when they're having a crisis of identity, because it actually happens more often than you would think.
Yeah, much more often than you might think.
Yeah.
Much more often than you'd think. This sentence works many ways. Well, I'm just gonna put this away for now. We'll use that one, and when I have some more time, we'll get to working on this. So I really do like it. Very well done. Is there a note? I'm gonna look inside. You said that there's like a thing from Victor.
It's a
There's a
birthday.
card.
It's a birthday card, and when you open it, a $20 bill falls out.
I was going to say, before shoving up your sleeve, don't. Oops. Should have read the fine print.
The note is written in one of the older languages in your book or in your books. I hope this covers the apology for what happens.
For what happened? This is about the ship, isn't it?
Future tense.
What
Not
happens,
past tense.
happens, or will happen.
happens.
Ugh. Well, I don't like that.
Victor had like a really awesome chance there to like write his own contract in there. It's like, by taking possession of the weapon, you hereby void all previous contracts.
Previous is an interesting term.
Well, that's true.
D-Walk used a very specific tense, happens.
Yeah, he did.
Happens?
That
Did.
yeah, happens. For what
Happens.
happens.
So how would you know what is happens means will happen,
Yes.
Right.
not is happening.
Is going
Happen.
to happen.
is going to happen. Now, happens when you use the weapon?
Well, how does he know what will happen in any? I mean, okay, we're just gonna file that away under. Think about this for the next couple days.
One's
Okay,
been
is Victor a
prognosticated.
precog?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Is Victor replacing Tom Cruise in Minority Report 2? Did Victor get redballed? All right. They always run. They always run, Victor. Let's head on down to where we were headed originally, down the stairs. Boy, that is really gonna stick in my head for a little while. Now I'm just pissed off because he's over there with Rayne.
Oh,
Maybe it's a
yeah.
save the date card.
Ooh. Well, we'll know what's up if they come back and Victor starts referring to him as dad.
Yeah, we'll know because I'll hang him by his one arm off the side of the boat. We'll fly real low over some trees. And then a knife factory.
Master Kaeviir, I'd like you to meet your grandson.
This went from save the date to a fully formed child.
Wait a minute, is this the medieval? Is a bow and arrow the medieval shotgun? Is this a bow shot wedding?
Me and your mama got married because your grandpappy held a crossbow to my head.
Oh God.
As fun as this narrative reconfiguring is, maybe we could just shut the fuck up and play this game. Roll some fucking dice or whatever.
All right.
I love you, Dees.
All right.
I'll remember you said that when we see what happens with the story.
Man, D-Walk's so happy he gets to live rent-free in Deese's brain for the next
He's done
7
this to me
days.
multiple times over the course of multiple games where he'll like say something weird, like, and I don't know if it's intentional or just like he slipped up, and I'm just sitting there like, this fucking goat is a demon. I just know this goat is a fucking demon. This goat is spying on me. It's like literally as soon as I got that thought in my head, I stopped wanting to be around the goat. I stopped wanting it in my lab. I stopped wanting it in the house. I wanted it somewhere else. And it turned out it was the fucking wolf the whole time, which luckily couldn't come into the house anyway. So lucky byproduct of fucking his werewolf decision, but still.
I do not want it on my boat. I do not want it to wear my coat.
I'm gonna wring its fucking throat.
Oh, nursery rhymes with Freelance.
Throw him in the river till his body bloats. Oh, fuck that. That kid better not be. I'm not. Let's just play this game.
Right? Okay.
Man,
all right.
I think in 2 weeks we're going to have the D&D version of Maury Povich. That's what I'm thinking. We're just going to have. It's going to be some kind of weird family reunion thing.
All right. Are we ready to go downstairs?
I've been ready for a long time.
Do some more killing.
All right.
All right.
So
This conversation felt like it took an hour. So I should get my short rest in, right?
all right. So you guys head down the stairs to the dungeon. Or how do you go down the stairs?
Cartwheels.
So
With pinwheels in hand.
1 foot at the time.
It didn't cost me a dime.
So we're moving to the basement. That's what we're
Mhm.
saying. Okay.
Hold on. This joke is too good. So I did it 1 foot at a time. And I was like, and it didn't cost me a dime. I was thinking about Renasmir singing Johnny Cash songs, putting together a body from all of the pieces he found. You'll know it's mine when it stumbles through your town. Oh God, that's so funny. It's like he's got a rib
that's good.
cage from a troll, the arms of a goblin. Oh my God.
That would be. It has a rib cage of a troll and arms of a goblin. It would have like little T-Rex arms.
Yeah, I also put him on the back, which was weird because then. So he just waves goodbye wherever he goes.
So I'm looking at the map of the basement of the academy. And I guess it's not exactly what I would have expected to see in the basement of an academy. I would have expected to see, like, a storage area for old tomes, maybe some cauldrons, like boxes of old vials waiting to be used, like a storeroom. Not like jail cells and unmarked graves and just noting that.
Well,
Nothing.
he did retcon to say dungeon,
He did say dungeon, which
is probably where they put people who try to maybe do the types of magic you're not supposed to do.
Oh, or is it like a simulator, like, to train would-be adventurers who will be delving into dungeons to throw them into sort of a
like a danger room type deal?
yeah, like a, kind of like an obstacle course almost.
Yeah,
That could be it.
That would be awesome. I need one of these now. I need another level of boat. Can I get another? I need to we're gonna do some work on this boat for season 2.
You just need to add a holodeck to the boat.
There you go.
Then it can be whatever you want.
That's true.
Yeah.
Illusion magic, that is possible.
I'm gonna Riker this motherfucker. No one come in here while I'm in here.
No, they actually did that in that giant paddle boat you guys were on.
Mhm.
That
Mhm.
the performers had.
Yeah.
They had like
When they would do shows, they had illusion magics that would actually set the entire set and the backgrounds and whatnot and control wind and weather and stuff during their shows.
That's
Ah,
excellent.
yeah.
Yeah. So
All I know is that we're gonna have to get Brendan a new mop.
How tall are the buckets down here, Duwak?
Are we going into this?
Okay.
Are we going down the stairs quietly, or am I in front?
Well, you guys can do whatever you guys want. I'm really preoccupied with this bow right now.
Imagine so.
I never get gifts. I get gifts for everyone, but I never get one. And when I do, it's like a plaque or some bullshit.
like a small thing of flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and stealth my way down. If anyone runs into my uncle face to face first, it probably should be me.
All right.
Do you want to
Give me.
Do you want to
Go for it.
yell if you want us to run down after you?
We'll
hear the
yeah. I'll give you a signal.
Okay.
Stealth check. That's a 31.
Wow.
Very good. I'll give you the help action. You can roll again if you want.
Why not? It's a 27.
Okay.
So 31 it is. I am a stealthy motherfucker.
So you creep down the stairs, no issue. No one sees you. No one catches sight of you. As you creep down, you notice the stairs are actually they come down towards the north wall, so most of the actual dungeon's behind you.
What's
You
that word again?
if you look over to your left, you would see like an uplisted pedestal with a skeleton on it.
Okay.
Some racks against the wall, a couple sets of stairs that look like they lead up, possibly outside.
Okay.
If you look off to the right,
Mm-hmm.
you see a bunch of the open graves, bones scattered. You see two. I wrote this name in pencil. It didn't really work well on a dark pencil on a gray thing. No, my wife got me this really cool new pencil that has
Ooh.
dragons and dice carved into it.
Oh, that's
Oh.
cool.
So I got to actually take a picture and send it to you. I don't know if that will actually. I don't know if that.
That is awesome.
So
That is
it was
very
supposed to
cool.
be for my birthday in June, but she wanted to see it so bad she let me open it now. So I tried to use it and then I drew on the gray and I was like, damn.
Yeah.
But it actually draws pretty nice. It was in my sketchbook earlier for the first time in months.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Okay, tilt it.
Is that better?
Ooh,
Oh yeah, that's good.
cool.
All right.
That's good form work too.
Thank you. So with the
Normally
purple
just
tone.
draw Adri, so it's just like a big rectangle. And then some,
Oh
like-
my god.
So, all right. Off to the right, you see two of the leather of your father's or your I'm sorry, your uncle father's cousins. On the shroud walkers off to the right, you see two of the leather suited ones. Off to the left, you see two of the armored and one of the leathered. All of them kind of just shook. They're a couple of them on the ground, about half of them on the ground, half of them are standing up, and they're just kind of like just mentally just shook.
You can edit this if you need to, Rachel. But I just farted really, really hard. And it's got like I think I fogged up the window on the side of my PC.
Why would I not edit that?
It came through the fan and it like fogged up the interior of the PC. I don't know how it's gonna work. I don't know how methane helps your video card or whatever, but if I glitch out a little bit, I'll scrub down the
if we hear an explosion, we'll know why.
I'll scrub down the internals.
So
It was like a hot chili paste.
Ew.
Just like it's like if you took like a buffalo wing and just put it right against your butthole. This is what it felt like. Just like a tangy, like a tartness to it. Ooh.
I don't know if I should be more disturbed by the fact that that's the description you used, or the fact that somehow your butthole has acquired the sense of taste.
Actually, buttholes can taste.
I've heard that before.
I
I've heard
swear to
that,
God,
yes.
your butthole can taste.
I believe. Yeah, I think he's right. The butthole can taste.
How you like that? How you like that? We all learned something today on Freelance Heroism. Your butthole can taste. Try some pudding.
Yeah.
Bro.
Have yourself a cup of Jello and just get back to me.
Gross.
Wow.
Yeah, just don't reverse the words in that sentence. That's all.
Alrighty.
Anyway,
So
so I see. Do I recognize? I mean, I recognize these, of course, as part of my uncle's crew. But
yeah,
do I recognize any of them individually, or are they just
not really. More
Okay.
just. I mean, his common
standard henchman kind of thing. Okay.
The odd thing is, in one of the cells on the far left, you see a being standing there looking at you. Kind of a floating being. You'd recognize a beholder any place you see one.
Like a large one, a small one?
A larger one, and he's stuck behind the cell. You can tell that the cell itself is radiating magic. So there's
obviously he's trapped inside. Okay.
Though he sees you. He's the only one that sees you.
Okay. Well, with that many eye stalks, I imagine one of them would have outrolled my 31. So he sees me. What is his reaction?
It's kind of like, you know, those ones, you know, those neighbors that just kind of watch the train wreck next door. And he kind of has that, like, ooh, this is gonna be good.
I'm gonna go grab my bag of popcorn.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Well, very nice of him to be chill and not alert the others to my presence. I will have to note that for later.
Nate was trying to avoid saying the word posterity.
Yes,
I don't also check your Facebook Messenger, by the way.
Oh God.
No.
Nate, would you like to read that out loud for the podcast?
It is showing me stuff from like 9. Okay, here we go.
Use your radio voice for it. Go ahead.
You have taste receptors in your butt. Taste receptors are present all over the body, not just the mouth. They exist in the testes, where new studies indicate they play an important role.
Utility.
I was waiting for him to get to the end because the beginning you think is the grossest shit, and then you get to the end, you're just like, wow.
It's not the gross. It's the what? They play an important role in fertility. The taste receptors in your nuts play an important role in fertility.
If it weren't for my horse, I would have never graduated. And your ears start to bleed.
Okay, so I guess if I stop and think about it scientifically,
Please
I can't.
Oh, God.
The fact that you have taste receptors in your butt maybe shouldn't be a surprise to me, because the skin that comprises your butthole is the same that comprises your lips. So, sure, okay,
Sphincter skin. What you're talking about?
Yes.
By the way, the ends of a tube.
Yes. By the way,
count it.
Butthole scrunchies coming to a supply store near you. Okay,
our flavors have taste.
Put some Burt's Bees on that butthole.
Oh, and now I'm just no, stop, no.
Hey, how do we feel about that as the quote for the game session that I post that up on Freelance? Put some Burt Bees on that butthole.
I mean, I've heard worse.
Can I get a vote?
I.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how I vote. It doesn't matter.
He's like, nobody gives a shit what I think.
It'd be better if we had a unanimous decision. A unanimous decision. Rachel, do you vote against it? I won't post it.
It's fine. It's fine. You can post.
Okay.
We started early. We're now 1 hour into the recording session. We've opened a box and we've descended some stairs. That's it.
We're past the vibe checks here.
Oh, okay. All right. Got it. All right. So a beholder has seen me. The other people in the room are severely disoriented because of the events of earlier. If I peek around towards the south wall, what do I see?
You see the vault door open. You see a magic shield up where the door was standing, and you see somebody on the other side of it, concentrating, keeping it up.
And this person who's concentrating obviously wasn't affected by what just happened by virtue of the fact that they were able to concentrate and keep this shield in place, or
Possibly they reactivated
or they
afterwards.
reactivated it afterwards. They passed their con check.
You see,
I do I get the sense that if I like step out into the open that this person will notice me? Or do I think they're too focused on what they're doing?
50-50. You're not sure. You see a lot of your what your uncle would use to open a safe and pop safes out on the floor or out around it.
Okay. I am going to sneak back upstairs and consult with my partner. All right. So here's the situation. There's about a half dozen of my uncle's men, and they are obviously very much discombobulated at the moment because of what just happened. The vault door is cracked open. One of the more magically inclined members of my uncle's crew has got a ward across the door, and I assume my uncle is inside the vault. There's also a really cool beholder down there, if you can believe it, who didn't snitch on me when he saw me. So that's a thing, but it's kind of weird down there. I was, not expecting a bunch of jail cells and undug graves and skeletons and crap, but yeah. So
can I roll a knowledge check? Or shit, I don't know, Arcana maybe? I know beholders, right?
Yeah.
I know about their anti-magic field, anti-magic cone. Do I know about the interaction of that on, say, like a ward?
Yeah.
I know that it would take down the ward. Or I know that it would not take down the ward.
If the ward was specially designed to hold it, then it could. But a normal magic ward, yes, a beholder could take down.
Okay.
You're not the first person to ask that question.
What?
You weren't the first person to ask that question.
I wasn't? Who asked that question?
Your girlfriend.
Oh, sorry, I was zoned out on something. I was
No. She messaged me privately.
Oh, okay.
So.
Sorry, I literally was tuned out because I was posting the Burt's Bees on the butthole thing.
Nah, brother, it's all good. It's all good.
I'm just out here trying to get us some new viewers. Don't worry about me.
Yeah,
I wasn't poking you in game. I was just telling you that great minds think alike.
Did she actually? You come up here private messaging fucking tactics like we don't need to. Hey, whatever. Whatever.
It's all good.
I say my plans out loud for everyone to hear because I like to. You know what? That was her problem with all those shows we watch. She's like, why don't they just share information? Huh? Why does everyone keep it secrets from each other? That's a good point, Rachel.
She was asking me a real question. It was a real question to make sure.
Because Kes didn't know at that point that there was a beholder.
Right.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. But he came back. Okay. Yeah, gotcha. Sorry about that. Well, it's good that we're on the same track.
Yeah. So yeah. I suppose we could go down and easily subdue maybe 2 or 3 of them before they wise up to the fact of what's going on, and then we'll have a real fight on our hands.
How loyal are they to your uncle?
Oh, well, I would say like most sell swords, every man has their price.
What about their life? Will their life count?
Well, I mean, I'm fairly certain if you threaten to kill somebody, they
What about
might.
worse? What about worse than death?
Worse than death.
I have a plan. Let me go talk to them.
Okay.
Aren't they zonked out right now? We could just stab them.
No, he didn't say they were completely like out for the count. They're just
everybody's disoriented down there, pretty much like we saw everybody disoriented out in the yard. Nobody really knows what's going on, and
yeah, but people get it together real quick when you try to stab them.
Yeah, that was my thought.
All right.
My thinking is we go down there, we offer them a choice that we can cure what just happened to them and make it so they don't get ripped apart, sent to one of the worst realms ever of torture and misery. And all they have to do is leave.
I've heard worse plans. I'd say go for it.
Or, we could kill all of them, which would require us to go into the room anyway.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
And to make cleanup easier, I will let you know there are 4 open graves down there. So, maybe 6 of one, half a dozen of the other by the time we're all said and done.
So how about you guys get prepared? I'll walk in with my hands up so that there's no threatening.
Sure.
And I'll try to talk them out of it. And if things go sideways, I'll say, what's a good code word?
Beeswax.
I'll say beeswax. I'll work beeswax into the conversation. And then you just come down there and we can get started like we're gonna have to if they don't accept.
Gotcha. I was hoping for Rhino Butthole.
I was hoping for crackers as a callback to Dragon Knights.
Oh my god. I was certain I was gonna fuck that up. I was just a little out of it at the time, and I was just certain I was gonna fuck that up. All right, we ready?
Ready.
Yeah.
Crack my knuckles. I'm gonna take my fingers and put it on the corner of my face, kind of do the twist, like the smile. All right. Hands up, and I'm gonna walk down. Excuse me, gentlemen.
They all look up.
Thanks for listening to Freelance Heroism. We really appreciate you coming in and listening. We also really appreciate all the people who support our Patreon. By supporting the Patreon, you're going to get behind the scene uncut clips that you'll get to see sort of maybe the tissue behind some of the edited, cleaned up content. And you'll get that whenever we have a big block of it to drop, as well as any updates or any information behind the scenes stuff that we think the Patreons would like to know. So if you'd like to support our Patreon and help us continue making the high quality, high octane podcast that you've come to expect, go ahead to patreon.com/freelance_heroism. Thank you. And as usual, the invoice is in the mail.
I made a few of those illusion things and I put them in the guild bank.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because my priest is an
nerd.
Whatever the inscription.
Dork.
What?
Dweeby bag of donut shit.
No.
A dweeby shit donut.
You know what? You're talking about donuts. I want you to know I got a donut today.
Looks like a rhinoceros butthole.
I saved it for this game.
Looks like a rhino's butthole to me.
No, it doesn't. That's
Rachel,
what you look like.
Rachel, that looks like a straight up rhino butt.
It's a chocolate donut.
The fact that you're gonna eat that rhino's butt is so weird to me. And you're just like totally into it.
Oh my god, it's a chocolate donut.
It looks like a
I think
rhino's
you're just
butt
I
that
think
got
you're just
dipped-
jealous. I think you are just jealous.
A
that-
freshly dipped rhino rectum,
Ew.
which is fucking gross.
You're gross. We're thinking
I
of
missed
these
you too.
things.
Rachel, hey, show him that freshly dipped
It's
rhino's butthole.
it's a donut. It's a chocolate
It's a
donut.
rhino's butthole because
Oh
they don't
my
wipe.
God.
Because they don't wipe. Because they don't wipe. That's-
Oh, I'm staying out of this
Why
one.
do you ruin everything?
I didn't ruin it. He ruined it.
You're trying to.
That fucking rhino did it.
Oh my god.
I didn't have anything to do with that. I didn't choose what he ate.
And make a good scrunchie.
Ew, no.
That'd be a hard way to
Oh.
pack your hair into that thing. Do I
Oh,
buy the whole set, or am I just buying the shoulders? Because the rest of this shit looks kind of gross.
every set you buy, you get 3 free rhino butts.
Ew.
I got rent,
Hey.
That's where he comes in.
rental colons for you and yours. Okay, so what? So 2 sets at 12. This is cheaper to buy the whole thing. Just one.
Nate's still trying to figure out what we're talking about.
This is okay. That's
Ray has a
2.
donut. It looks very chocolatey good, and D says it looks like a rhino ass.
Yeah.
So they're going back and forth on which is
Sounds like something he would know about, I suppose.
Yeah.
right. You know, D, so when it comes to assholes, no one knows more.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let me tell you. Finally, people are respecting my expertise.
oh my
About
god.
to say, doesn't that kind of lie into that old adage? It takes one to know one.
Well, you are what you eat.
Ah,
Oh my god. Ew.
You're welcome. And he
Wow.
knows the dismount.
you're a rhino's asshole.
Rhinos asshole. Can we get a chant going?
No.
Asshole. Bum 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 bum. You guys are negative. You guys are some negative motherfuckers. You can't just enjoy it.
I thought I heard something about rental colon. And
You did.
okay, because now my brain, I don't know, my brain was like, I never mind. It's not important.